2025, and finally it is manga time with Batman Justice Buster Volume 2. Sometime last year I read the first one, thought it was a cool concept to have, a Batman manga, or at least, for me it is, because I'm a huge Batman fan and manga is pretty cool. So we get to continue on with this interpretation of Batman. Last time we were following this private detective who we know is Joker, or at least this version of Joker, like a vigilante, trying to, at the request of this kid, solve the murder of Bruce Wayne's parents. And a lot unravels from there. At the same time, Batman is doing his usual stuff, trying to catch all of his villains and do all this other stuff. In the middle, at the end, at least, in the middle of all of this, but still at the end, Superman shows up, because he did a little bit in the last one. So we're definitely building up to something bigger for the third volume, which I do have, so I'll read that at some point. Like a quick rundown of the plot, outside of what I just started with, is that it's revealed not too far into the book that the boy's uncle is not only the guy who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents, Joe Chill, but he's also not this boy's uncle. He literally kidnapped this kid. I'm pretty sure he murdered his parents or something like that. Either way, he's not his actual uncle. And who is this kid? Dick Grayson. So we are building up to a somewhat traditional Batman story, but for some reason, I guess down the line, this kid is going to have his superhero name named after this random AI Batman created. An AI that decided it's going to do some evil stuff. Okay, I have to kind of go back because I kind of forgot. Okay, so at first Batman pulls out this giant bat mech because he's going to he's going to stop his villains from this big display of villainy or whatever, and he's kind of going a little too far. He's destroying shit, and then Superman shows up and is like, hey, you're kind of being a dick. And at some point the Robin AI takes over a bit and explains to Batman that it has decided that the best way to bring back justice is to crush people's sense of justice, or something like that. It's basically gone rogue because of different calculations it's made over the course of Batman doing his stuff while using it. And that's the end. It's kind of weird, but I'm sure it'll get a little better, a little more comprehensive. It just seems a little odd. I get where this is going, especially them trying to do their own take, the writer of this doing their own take on Batman, but it just seems a little weird. I'm still not too sure if this is meant to be a young Batman, because he's got enough tech that you'd expect from an older Batman, kind of, and so on and so on. He doesn't look too young to where I fully believe it, but at the same time, he has that extra chip on his shoulder. He doesn't have many allies, and Superman is still not on good terms with him, or at least he's not on good terms with Superman. And he's like going through that, early on thing he usually does with Superman, where he sees him as a threat, collects kryptonite, and tries to kick his ass. So it's a little weird, but I sort of see like the different pieces from other Batman stories in the West and see where it's kind of heading here. I don't know. Interesting enough. I'm still going to continue reading. I don't know how far this is going to go past this and volume 3, but we'll see. Rating wise, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to release a couple more in a bit because I've got books that I've already finished and I want to get all that out of the way so I can keep reading. So stay tuned for that. See you guys next time. Take care.